Dear Divine Sadhviji, dear Divine Bob and Judith, my divine sisters and brothers, and all of those sisters and brothers who are connected through internet and internet. Today, I am very happy to be here, especially whenever dear Bob and Judith give invitation, they remember us. I also feel privileged to see the divine souls who are seeking for that light and to become enlightened. And today, in the world, so many places I have witnessed, there are packages now to be enlightened, instant enlightenment. They are not wrong. Enlightenment is instant. They are not wrong. But the way things are being packaged, $5,000 package, $10,000 package, to give enlightenment, one thing is good, that at least they are reminding people for that light, for that enlightenment. But I want to share with you, do you need any package for that? To deal with this enlightenment issue? This is an issue to deal with? What is this all about, enlightenment, and how this can happen? Is something going to happen which is not there? What to do? And it's not a new thing people are looking for. This is a thousands of years. Everybody, when we go back into the history, the spiritual history, people are looking for enlightenment. And they went to the search for that enlightenment. A king, very famous king, in India, had this urge to be enlightened. And he invited all of his divine masters and the wise ones who were intellectuals and intelligents. He invited them all and had this question, that I want to be enlightened. Meeting took place for 3 hours. Everybody has their own discourse to give, their own ways to describe how to be enlightened, what to do for that. Many recipes they gave for enlightenment. Meeting was over, everybody was gone home, but king was not happy. Good ideas, good recipes came, good ingredients came to be enlightened, but he was not happy. He was looking for something very deep. Again, he said, one more try. Let me call again. He called again. Again he had this question. It was answered by them in many different ways. He was happy, but still he thought, what I am looking for, the answer is not there. One day, he was going for a walk. On the way, he met some the wise one and ask the same question. Can I be enlightened? And how much time it will take? How many weeks course? How many months I have to take off from my job, from my kingdom? And where I have to go for that? Some special place. Being in kingdom, I think is difficult. It's not easy. All the time I'm very busy listening to my subjects, problems. Where is that place I have to go and find that enlightenment? He had a horse also with him because he was going for walk and going for horse riding also. And one feet was in horse, what do they say? Huh? Stirrup, whatever. Huh?
On the horse.
No, not the horse, but when they sit.
Stirrup.
Okay, stirrup. One feet was there and other feet was at the ground. He was just going to take that other feet and he asked, how much time? The saint said, not only that much time, that you take your another feet and put another stirrup. He said, what? That's it? He said, that's it. My dear, it's not that you have to go to the mountains to find that enlightenment. I was there. I have seen people. I knew the meaning. They also knew the meaning. Enlightenment means being in the light. But still I saw in the mountains, there were few. Rather than being in the light, they were in the fight. Really. I saw those fights. Because very little I went there, I lived for many years. And even after that I came from the jungle, but our ashram is in the foothills of the Himalayas. And one morning we heard one big noise, one shot, and everybody was shocked. What is that? And there we came to know later, 7 kilometers up in the Himalayas, that some incident took place and somebody shot someone. We came to know what happened. This I'm talking about almost 45 years ago. And we heard that noise, we came to know that someone has been shot. We were very curious. In the jungle, no one was there, nothing is there to be shot, and no grudges, no anger, no jealousies. Why here? People come here to be in peace, not to create these kind of pieces. But later we came to know there was other one, the wise one who wanted to be enlightened or maybe on the way to be enlightened. And when he saw that more people are going to that enlightened one, he became very jealous. He said, I am also living here for so many years. What is special in him? Yes, he is tall, his locks are very heavy, touching his feet that long. That's it. Only what different he has? I am living for so many years. He is living for many years. I am doing my sadhana. I am doing my practices. And what is that special in him that so many people are flocking to him? Not to me. I am waiting for people and people are waiting for him. What is that which makes him special? Couldn't understand why. And he said, oh, he tried many advertisement in his own way in the jungle, put some signs, put whatever he wanted to do, he did it, but still couldn't work. He became very angry and very furious. Okay, let me take care of him, then only I will be the one in the jungle, people will come to me. And he set somebody, hired somebody, and that man shot that saint. This is a true story I am telling you. This is a true story I am telling you, Bob. He hired somebody. It's not the wearing the garbs can make you the saint. Your heart has to be saint. And the man just was jealous because why more people are going to him? I am waiting for the people and people are waiting for him. Something I will do. The people also will wait for me. And this is not the way to get enlightened. I will also get enlightened. People will know I am the one who is enlightened, not this one. And rather than being in light, he was living in the fight, constant fight in his mind all the time. Because fight is not outside of us. And light also is not outside of us. Light and fight both live here. We create the chaos. It's not the world is chaotic. We create that chaos and we have to handle that chaos right here, not in the caves. People who live in the caves sometimes can be chaotic. It's not the people who live in the Himalayas, they are in peace. Wherever you live in the peace, there is a Himalayas for you. And right here in Chicago. That's why this center is here. Just to bring that light, bring that awareness that, hey, come on, go to the mountains, nothing wrong in it. But there also, remember, you are taking yourself also with you. You are not going alone. Your mind, your nature, your habits, all of that, you are as a package deal. And all of that package is going with you. And you have to deal with that package. The king asked the same question, how to deal with this package? And you said, now? He said, how now? He said, yes, it's that easy. He said, that easy? So first, remember, it's not that leaving your home, going to the mountains, being in the jungle, that you change automatically. And enlightenment takes place immediately overnight. It's not that. There also you are there. You have to deal with yourself. And you have to bring that light in you. And you have to not bring light in you. You have to become the light. And how to bring that light? How to become that light? It's not how to become the light. You are that light. It's not that somebody is preventing you to become a full light, a bright light. It's not somebody is sitting and waiting for you. Hey, you are going to become a light. I am going to stop you to become a light. It's not that. It's not some villain and some devil is sitting and comes down from the clouds and blocks our way to become that light. It's not that. It's not a becoming the light. Then what is that which is stopping us? It is us. No one else but us. We create our own sadness and we create our own happiness. Somebody can bring the situation, but it's not necessary that you are shaken by that situation. You are you. You are powerful than that situation. But we have forgotten that we are the light and we become the darkness and we hit the wall. And those situations hit like wall to us because we have forgotten that we are the light and we become dark. We become darkness. And that darkness creates that hit and that hurt. Whatever we have from the childhood, from the adulthood, from our spouses, from our friends, from our foundations or wherever. All that hurt is there because of not because of somebody else, because we want to live in that hurt. We have identified ourselves as that hurt. And light means, being in light means, it's not that somewhere will come and turn the light on. If the outside light is on, it will be gone also. But there is a light which can always stay on, which can show you, hey, come on. The way you are seeing or viewing this happiness and sadness, they are waves in the ocean. Like waves go up and down, you also go up and down. You are not the waves. Don't anchor yourself into the waves. Anchor yourself into the ocean. Become an ocean. You are an ocean. And that we think is, my God, He is making so easy. No fees, no dues, no package. It's all free. And that easy. You become free. Then why we are so much stuck? If that is that easy. It's all because of our own. We have wired ourselves. We have programmed ourselves in such a way to our egos, to our grudges, to our angers, to our jealousies, attachments and desires. And when desires are fulfilled, we are happy. And when desires are fulfilled, amazing thing is we need more. We need more and more. It's not that you are done with that. Great, it was super. Super, then you got more stuck. It's better sometimes not to be super. When you get super, and then you get more stuck, you want more. Because you are looking for that superness from somewhere else. You get it, you want it. More and more touch, more this, more that. And we get more and more stuck. And if it's not fulfilled, if fulfilled, we become greedy. If not fulfilled, we become angry. Why is not? Why you have then more expectation? You are not the same. You bring bouquet to me when before we, so many things I don't want to go because it's very precious. We are talking about enlightenment. Don't want to talk about bouquets. But this happens, my dear. Our own expectation wired us in such a way that we become chained and shackled through our own expectations. And those expectations are the one which put us in jail, make us prisoner. Being a free soul, being a free one, and you yourself dump into that cell, in the dark cell, because of my own expectations. It means no expectations. My God, then what will be the life? I love it. I love this. I want to go there. I want to be there. That is life. Yes, this is life. Make ourselves jailed or free from the jail. You become yourself the prisoner, or you can make yourself free from that prison. And prisoner also lives in the jail, and the jailer also lives in the jail. But the jailer is free, can move around, but not the prisoner. A person who is living with the fight all the time is jailed. And the person who is living in the light is a jailer. Being in the jail but is free, can roam around anywhere. Being enlightened does not mean you have special kind of horns. Now people can know he is the enlightened ones. It's not that, my dear. You eat the same way, you drink the same way, you sleep the same way, you think the... But what happens? What shifts? What that shift is? Arjuna asked this question to Krishna in the 2nd chapter. He said, Krishna, all that what you are talking to me is great. I am in the midst of the war, you are talking about me to the wise, story of the wise one, the stories of the yogi one, the who is the yogi, who is not yogi. I am not asking you here. And Krishna wanted to bring him on that level, that platform, where he can see that light. Hey, come on, see in this light. You are creating the war or you are fighting the war? Which war? War is not right there, my dear. War is right here. War is right here. Take care of that war. Constant fight is going on. Take care of that war. Then all the wars will be over outside of us. And that's why he said, and when after listening so much to him, he became very confused. He said, if I become that yogi, I become that wise one, I become that one who has a light, how I will behave? What I will do? How I will talk? He asked the question, Krishna, Sthitadhi kim prabhashet? Sthitat pragyasya kya bhasha? Sthit pragyasya ka bhasha? He said, who is the enlightened one? How he speaks. How he dialogues with people. Is he calm? with his calmness or with his, he is silent, with his silence he speaks to people, or he goes to the public, gives lectures, what he does exactly, and how he behaves with the people. Sthiti kim prabhaseta kimasita vrajet kim. How he sits is not, when you are not enlightened, you have to sit like this, and when you become enlightened you can do anything. And when you are enlightened you can sit like this, and when you are not enlightened, this is the symptom and sign and the mark that you will be like this. Then people can say, he is not the enlightened one. It's not the pose, my dear. It's not the pose. It's you. I remember one story. Once I think it was Chicago. Yeah, it was Chicago, long ago. I think 33 years ago. Yeah, 32 years ago. Some lady was visiting from India to her sister's house, and I was also happened to be there, staying there, and she talked to me, Swamiji, I am so tense, so stressed up, and going through a lot of pain. I am going through a lot of misery, a lot of hard time. Advise me something. And when she was talking, I could understand where she is coming from. You understand, when you talk, how you walk, how you interact, how you behave, it all tells you about the person. And immediately I understand what is the problem. So rather than giving some tablet, I said, okay, I have to find out some multivitamins for her. I said, okay, so if you have lost your sleep, if you're not happy, you are so much stressed, what you are doing then? He said, doctor has prescribed me, in India there is a tablet called Compose. When you have insomnia or you have a sleepless nights, they prescribed you Compose. Very easy, Valium 5, Compose, like this. So I said, what you are taking? He said, Compose. I said, but still I am not able to sleep. I have increased my doses 2, 3, 4. I said, wait, 4, and still you are not able to sleep? I said, my dear, I will suggest you only one thing. Rather than taking this Compose tablet, just calm your pose. Calm your pose. That's it. That's what you need. And the saint said, just you need only that much time. Take this feet, take to the other step, and here is enlightenment. He said, that much time? And I want to tell you, my dear, that much time. No 3 months course, no 3 years course, no 3 weeks course, no 3 days course. Right here, who can stop you to become a light? Or who can stop you to identify that light? No one. It's me, my ego. It's not only my karma. Sometimes, oh, my karma, my stars. We start blaming others. We start blaming the stars. We start blaming those people who have given us scars in the childhood, and we carry that scar till our grave. It is up to us. Draw the line now and forget the scar now, and either you can take to the graves or you to your next lives. If you cannot deal it now, how you are going to deal with that issue in the next life? Now. And it means anchor ourselves in the ocean, number one. And second thing is to make it easy to daily life. It's very easy to say, now you are light. But still, we need something to go on. Because, daily life we are used to it. Okay, course number 1, course number 2, course number 3, day 1, day 2, day 3. I want to give you not day 1, day 2, day 3. Every minute, every moment. First thing is, calm your pose. And living in light means living with less. It means living with less baggage. Our problem is we are living with the list. Even we go to God, the list is ready. Rather than living with less, learn how to live with less, we are living with a list. Another thing is, when we come out of the temple, we are living with the lust. This shopping center, that's, even we don't need it, but we want to buy it. Poor husband and the credit card. We want to buy it. Either we are living with the list or living with the lust. And my dear, time has come. Try to learn, live with the less. Living with less means not that you leave everything, send everything to the Salvation Army. It's not I'm trying to suggest to you. You have to learn the life is not to have more. Have more, God bless you. But life is to be more. Living with less means being more. Less baggage. Nowadays, when I came from Pittsburgh, unfortunately I had some bottle of water. I forgot, because I drink water before I catch the plane, but I forgot. And when the bag went through the X-ray machine, they stopped me. What do you have? I said, I think I have water. Then, but she has to take the water out again there. Just imagine, to make your travel smooth, they have made the rules now. No liquids, no bottles, small that toothpaste, and small bottle of shampoo or whatever you people have. And that also should be transparent. Transparent. They have given you bag, small one. You have to go through it. Less baggage. That less. And less baggage also taught me one lesson. Less baggage is okay, but it's a transparent bag also. Even you become transparent. That transparency works, I'm telling you. Maybe not amongst others, but in front of you yourself, ask every day before you sleep, how transparent I am. How transparent I am. What I am carrying with me, that it can go to the super X-ray machine and cannot be rejected. What kind of baggage I have with me, of my expectations, of my desires from others, which can stop my progress, which can stop me to having that light. That baggage which stops me, my expectations, my ego. Let go that ego and desires and expectation is easy to say, but I am telling you, it's very easy to practice also every day. Why? Just think other person is not a stone, he has a life. If you have expectation from that person, that other person also have expectations. So, having less, being less, is not that you are being less, or you are thinking less of you, or people will think less of you because you are living with less. It's not that, my dear. It means I am living now with conscious, with awareness. Whatever I need, I will need it, but not that I'll keep buying everything which is going to harm the world, which is going to harm the nature, which is going to harm the Mother Earth, the planet. All that you take into consideration when you are having, and living in that way is living in light. And remember, the karma you are performing, the action you are taking is not that how they are going to impact your life, but how they are going to impact others' life also. All that awareness should come every day in our lives. First, let us take this small. We'll talk about the enlightenment later. Let us have the light for our daily life first. And if you have a daily life with light, that enlightenment will be waiting for you. If you are not huggy here, don't wait for any hug in the heaven. Be huggy here. Be in that light here. Be juicy here. The juice will be waiting for you. God bless you. And being in light means, believe me, it's not that light will come from somewhere else. You are the light. That's why in India it said, Amritasya Putraha. You are the son of the nectar. You are that light. Don't wait any other nectar from anywhere else. And you are not the sinner. You are the light. You are the nectar. And you are divine. When you are divine, let the light wait for you. God bless you. Thank you.